YouTube, it's a GoGoBird Eagle. What the heck is wrong with this thing? Look. It is the weirdest toy ever. It likes to turn way easier to that side. Oh, that's pretty cool. It will fly in weather. Okay, circle. There's a circle button. It loves to land when you're not expecting it to. But look how cool the thing is. It is so cool. It loves to find the power lines. You see the bird? It's talking to me. I don't know what it's talking about. I don't really care. It's talking about like how high it is. Okay, now there's a return. 66 feet. 20 meters equals 66 feet. Well, it's pretty cool. Also, the battery charger has two lights on it. One's to indicate power. And then one is to indicate being done charging. That is pretty cool. So it's about 66 feet up. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to turn it toward us. So if you want to bring it back towards yourself, you just kind of have to hold the stick. And then every time you push up, it goes up. So you don't have to push anything to make it go forward. Pull the trigger and then drop. And then the button, it wakes back up. Okay, so basically it keeps going in a circle. If you want it to go in a circle, you can press this button here. And it'll just like go in a circle, but I want to bring it back here. So now I want it to go in a circle. So now it's going in a circle. No, no, take back off. Ah! That's what it does. Really good. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to go pick it up out of the tree or excuse me, out of the grass. The thing flies pretty good. It'll fly in wind, but just be careful because it likes to find anything that you don't want it to hit, like every time. So we're going to go walk out there and get it. It turns way better to the right than it does to the left. I don't know why that is. It is pretty cool when you can get it down low like this. But it is a little bit less than responsive, let's just say. I'm in normal mode now, whatever that means. Now this is quick mode, whatever that means. 33 feet. That's what she keeps saying. And then every once in a while, the thing will like scream at me. Ah! Like an eagle. Eagle scream.
Except it's kind of like a seagull.
It lands kind of like that. You can stay there.
Okay.
All right, so in closing, you can do that for a long time. The battery lasts forever, it seems like. And basically, there's a speaker on the handle. There's some extra, I don't know what this button does, but there's a trigger here. There's a trigger here. So when you want to take off, you click this button. And then when you want to land, you click it again. She talks. Then, if you want it to stop its wings in flight, you get flying, and then you click and then do this. I'll try to demonstrate here. I just gave it 2 up button presses. Okay, there's 3. And then to the left, there's 4. To the left, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It wants to turn to the right way more than it wants to turn to the left. Okay? There's no trim adjustments like you would have on an airplane or a helicopter. So it's 66 feet. It's trying to hold that height. Let's go up again. So now it's trying to go to 98 feet. Okay, so now it's turning nicely. And then when you pull this trigger and then click, watch what happens. Pull the trigger and click. That's pretty cool. You could still turn it. And then I'm starting it back up. So it takes a second, but it will come back to life. And so I'm telling it to go up, go up, go up, go up. Thank you. And then I'm going to hold down and watch what happens. It just stops. And I guarantee you, whatever you don't want this thing to hit, it's going to try to find it. Okay? Up, 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 up. Watch this. It's going to hit the lines. Watch this. Oh, yeah. Oh, it missed. Come on now. See, it won't turn to the left, but it will now. It'll go right. So basically, the moral of the story is this is a fun thing. It's very challenging to control, but it is also quite cool because it is basically flying itself. Now, if I press left, it does turn left. Now, if I press down, watch what happens. It slows down. So it definitely takes a lot of getting used to. Okay, get up there, get up there, get up there. You can do it. Now turn. Woo! Oh my goodness. I don't want to get on the roof. So basically what you're doing is you're kind of giving like a suggestion to the bird, the random bird, like, hey bird, go up a little bit. Keep going. Now turn. Now watch this. Down you go. Down. See this? Now it stops flapping. So as you can see, it's sort of controllable. And then you can stop it like right now if you want. Yeah, hit the power lines. Don't do it. Don't do it. You've got a lot to live for, Eagle. So I'm going to try to fly back to us because I don't want to go chase it. One thing that this thing is great for is exercise. I'm going to try to get it back to catch it. Let's see if we can catch it. Turn that way. Come on. Come on. No, don't you dare. Turn. There you go. There you go. Turn. Turn, baby. Turn. Woo! Come on. Come on now. Okay, turn again because you didn't quite make it. Okay, here we go. We're going to stop turning it. There we go. There we go. Okay, down you go. Down you go, birds. Down you go. Nice smooth landing. Hey, that's about as smooth as it gets.
Yep.
Aircraft landing. I don't know if you guys can hear.
Aircraft landing.
So it talks to you the whole time. It's always saying some ridiculous thing. But it is a pretty fun toy. Let's walk up to it. So, Camera Crew, what are your thoughts on the bird?
I think you need a large open space.
Like, you mean larger than 3 acres?
Maybe.
Because this little front chunk of our property is pretty close to 3 acres. And I would suggest that we have some obstructions here. So if you had 50 acres, that'd probably be enough for them.
You're going to have to take it to the park. If you live in town, you're not just going to go out in your backyard and fly it, I don't think.
Not unless you hang out with ladders next to your roof all day.
And your neighbors really like you.
I would definitely say it's well designed. It's cool. It's kind of fun. It's got a lot of technology in it. That's how you're turning. But there's just something about it that mine will only turn one direction versus the other. And I don't know why that is. So I'm pretty sure it's not broken. The thing is really resilient. It doesn't break easy, which is pretty cool. We're going to go ahead and include this part of the video that you're seeing now. Then we'll show you the unpackaging and setting up the charger and things like that. And then basically, you guys can make up your own mind. I think it's kind of cool. We'll link to it. If you want to buy it in the description below, we'll have a link for you. You'll be helping to support our channel if you buy from that. Or if there's something else you like better, scroll down a little further. But for now, it's really cool. I felt like the GoGoBird that was inside was really cool. And the cats loved it, but this is a little bit too big to fly inside. And we do demonstrate that in our unbox. So Without further ado, guys, come back for more. YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. We're gonna unbox this thing. What is it? I don't know. Not a garbage bag. Okay, so this thing came on a long journey across the planet. And here goes nothing. All right, let's see what this is. Oh yeah, it's a GoGoBird Eagle. All right, so after the first successful GoGoBird, which is right here, I was super excited to see what was gonna happen with this thing because I thought, surely it can't be that cool. This is by a company called Hanvon, and you can buy these through a bunch of different sources. This thing comes with a kit actually, which is really cool. I didn't know that was gonna be the case. It's got a carrying case and everything, which is nice. Looks like it'll be protected. So without further ado, we're gonna open it up. I wanna be kind of nice to it though. I thought it was just a box in there, but it's actually a whole case. Mm-hmm. Really nice, wrapped in plastic. I was super impressed with the first one. This is an Eagle though, so I think it's bigger. And we're gonna see, you can just read that for the audience there, camera crew.
Yep, it says.
Thank you. Okay, so it's got a nice handle on it. It's got 2 snaps up here. It looks like there's more stuff on the handle, which is pretty cool. All right. Talks about the specs in Chinese or some other language. Okay, talks about the specs some more. Okay.
The case is like really nice.
Yeah, I know, it's like super, super nice. So
Is there English on there anywhere?
I don't know. It might that we might be getting an early release version, I wonder.
Yep, I don't see any. Okay.
So I'm taking the scissors to this. I want to take the plastic off of that. It's always nice when you get a nice heavy duty carrying case. That's super, super nice. I'm really surprised. Okay, so there's snaps up here. They fold up like this. Oh, that's so cool. The wings are in here. This is way bigger. Look at that. I couldn't tell from the video, but it's like 3 or 4 or 5 times the size. That is so cool. Okay, quick start guide. So it looks like there's instructions. Okay, so it talks about the contents here. This is in English. I'm gonna show the people here real quick. Okay, so it looks like there's batteries for the transmitter too. Okay, so here's the tail section. It's a little heavier duty than the last one. This is like a foam board with a decorative cover on it and then a hinged tail. It looks like these go up and down and maybe this is fixed. So it's almost like an air brake that comes up on either side with these small servos. A couple plugs are gonna have to land. Okay. Screws, some long, some short, and a ultra small screwdriver. The controller, everything fits in here when it's not assembled. Okay, so this has a power switch here, click, all the directions, got the same kind of like, this is just simulated. Then there's a trigger and a trigger. So there's actually 2 triggers here. I don't know what they do yet, we'll find out. The bird, okay, I'm trying to be kind of careful when I pull this out. Wow, that is so weird. It's not gonna hurt anybody if you hit him in the face. There's a power button there. Oh, cool. I'm gonna shut that off. This is where the wings insert. Looks like a couple of points to screw down the wings. There's where the tail gets plugged in. Oh, that's cool. A zipper to get down into what appears to be the battery cavity. So I don't know exactly what this does, but I'm curious now. So is that where we put our batteries in? I don't know. We'll have to figure out how to charge the thing. Obviously we have to charge it. Wing buckle. Okay, so these are called wing buckles. Okay, so this is taped down. Real easy to get that out. This is the front of the flying wing. Please tear off the sticker before installation. So this is the front. I think what they're trying to say is the top. This is the bottom. I think they mean to say the top. So, or this is labeled wrong. Like this should be going a different direction possibly. There's a little extra adhesive that didn't get pulled off. I'm gonna try to get that off of there. There it goes. Okay, so I'll stick that down here. So these are reinforced with what appears to be carbon fiber rods, as you can see. That's pretty cool. Okay, so there's a pivot point back here that's gonna be secured at the back of the bird. These are gonna go in here. Do they snap? I can't tell. This has gotta be pretty simple. Because look, there's a screw right there. The screw comes out, then this mounts there. One on each side. Looks like this is where you hold down the wing to the back of the bird. Okay. Does that snap? Yes, it snaps. Okay. Then you can undo these screws. Oh, they have a charger in here too. See? Look at that. Make sure you use the specified and customized charging device. This is an 8.4 volts. So it's like a 2S pack. So there's 2 cells in series more than likely. And then look, here's the charging pack. Okay. So it looks like it's got a USB-C input, and then this slides into here to be charged. Okay. There's a button on the side of this. I don't know what the button does. I can't tell.
So that's the actual battery?
That's the battery. Okay, so I didn't see a USB-C cable. So it does not come with a USB-A to USB-C anywhere that I can find. Okay, so I don't know if maybe they forgot that or if it just didn't come with it. So if you don't have a USB-C cable, that'll be a problem. So what we'll do is we'll look inside of this real quick. There's a user's manual also right here, in addition to the quick start guide. Okay, so I believe there's 2 batteries because it already turned on.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. So we're breaking out the manual here. We got the double manual going on here. The bag is not real easy to open on this. Just kind of wanted to rip up on me. Okay, so this is the user manual. Okay, that's in Chinese. 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 Okay, so we're just looking for the English. Oh, here we go. Air inlet body battery compartment. Battery indicator. So yeah, so this just shows you where all the items go. Looks like it's super duper easy. So you have to undo the screws and then those saddles go onto the frame. So we need to insert 2 AAA batteries into the handle. Is there batteries in here already? There's a speaker on here too. This is screwed shut. So you have to actually break out the tools to do this. There's a handful of screws that are going to come out, so be careful when you dump this out. Just like this. One of mine is stuck in the bag. We're just going to try to get that thing to slip down. There it goes. And these are really small screws, so do not lose the screws, and make sure that all the screws are out of the bag before you discard it, or you're going to be wishing you wouldn't have. I want to get this battery charging, so let's pause and get the USB-A to USB-C cable and show the people how to do that. So this is a USB-C cable. And this is a USB-A. Okay, so this is like your standard size, if you will, if there's such a thing. And then this slides into there. Okay, then this charger, I'll just leave the battery out for now. We've just your run-of-the-mill USB charger. This happens to go for an Asus tablet. Plug that in, a couple lights come on, drop this in, and then it should start charging right away. I don't see a change in condition here. Does this indicate what the lights mean? Please do not disassemble. Not for children under 3. Okay, fine. I don't see any change in lights when I drop it in. So that means it's either charged or this isn't working. So I'm assuming it must be charged. Okay, so then we'll take this provided screwdriver and we'll undo the Phillips screw that's down here by the bottom of the cover. Then you can release this lid. There's 2 AAA that go in here. The spring goes to the flat side. It's indicated on a drawing below. Then this lid slips back on. There's a lot of steps on this. They're not hard steps, but there's a lot of steps. People that would be into this would typically be okay with steps like this.
Yeah.
There's a light that's way back there. It's like back here.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
And so you can see it, but if you're not looking straight at it, you won't see the light, okay? So when I press this down, that turns it off. When I pull this up, it turns it on. See, off, on. I'm gonna turn it off for now. Okay, now I'm going to go through the process of putting on these connection points for the wings. I probably should have not slipped those in first, but it's really not that big a deal. That's a really nice screwdriver, actually, just very small. Okay, camera crew, are you able to see? See this? That thing comes out. So that's gonna allow it to bite onto the fabric without just, you know, passing through, essentially. See how I just fed that through? It worked pretty good. So that wasn't too bad, actually. Really nice quality screwdriver. I thought it was just a run-of-the-mill, but it's not. It's actually very, very nice. The tip of this screwdriver is perfect for these screws. Sometimes you get that and sometimes you don't. Okay, so yeah, I think that's a Japanese tip, not a Chinese tip.
So then that actually holds the fabric.
Yep,
wings
on the back of the
on.
body. Yeah. So I'm gonna pass this. I'm just gonna try to get that to go. It's a little bit tricky to get everything to line up. You see how I'm kind of fighting that. If I could just actuate the wings down, it would probably make it a little easier. There might be a trick to that, but I'm not gonna read the instructions because... Okay, so just drop this down. Tighten that screw, and then you're golden. Okay, so you see how that holds the fabric for the wing. This is a very thick fabric. This is nothing like, this is like a film that's very thin.
Yeah.
This is like a kite fabric. It's very strong. It's reinforced. You can tell it's very strong. So that's cool. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the same thing here. Just lay that down on top. You can kind of hold the bird. Orthocopter. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
I always say it wrong.
So.
Okay, so then this needs to get slid onto that screw. I don't know if they just gave us spare screws or if we're gonna need screws. Okay, so you see what I've done? That's a very long screw. In fact, I'm gonna sit down and drag this over because it's gonna be a lot easier to do this while I'm sitting, and then you can film it easier too. Okay, so you see how this thing comes out. So I'm gonna take my finger and hold it with my fingernail so that I don't lose that dinky screw. Okay, see how small that is? It's very dinky. Then I'm just gonna drop this into the slot. And when I lay this onto the screwdriver tip, I'm gonna grab it with the middle of my middle finger or index finger and just get that started. There you go. So now it's in. It's quite easy. This screwdriver is definitely gonna be hard on some people that have bigger hands. It's very small. It's not hard, it's just gonna be harder for people that have big hands or aren't used to working with extremely small parts. Okay, so there's quite a few threads that go in there, so that's nice. Same thing, ring finger on my left hand. I'm gonna use that to just hold a little bit of pressure so it doesn't pop off of there. See how it pops off very easy? You don't want that to shoot into your garbage can or across your room. Okay, so line that up. Don't drop it in carpet. You'll never find it. Unless you have a magnet. These might not be magnetic though. I'm pretty sure they're not stainless, but stainless steel bolts are not magnetic. Or they're not ferrous, so they're not gonna react to a magnet. Okay. Okay. So now we have the wings attached. Look how much bigger that is. That's huge.
Yeah,
That's
I'm really
really
surprised.
cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm excited to see it fly. So this flies a little bit different than the other little copter we had, the little bird thing, orthocopter. Okay, so this says, this is the front of the tail. Please tear this off the sticker. Okay, so that's pretty useless. If Hanvon, if you're listening, that is, first of all, not correct. And second of all, it means nothing. So I'm sure in Chinese or Japanese or whatever that Mandarin, whatever language that is, it might make sense, but in English it's a waste of time, so you might as well not apply that sticker. It literally is a waste of our time because it's incorrect. I think it's supposed to say this is the top of the whatever.
Yeah, top.
Except it's not. It's like, is it? This looks to be the top to me. Because is that the way it goes? I'm having a hard time telling from the drawing. You see those clear things on the top there, camera crew? That's on the top. So this should be the top. This says this is the front of the tail. First of all, if that's the front of the tail, it's in the wrong spot. Second of all, that should say this is the top of the tail. This is the top of the tail. Okay.
So maybe this is where we need those extra screws.
Yeah, I think it's... Okay, so now these are keyed connections. I have this upside down, so I'm intentionally going to plug this in. They only go one direction. It's not hard to plug them in. It's just if you try to plug it in wrong and you force it, you know, you'll probably break it. So be gentle. But then when you know you've got it aligned, it'll go into where it's basically got just not so much a snap. Okay, so you see now I flip it over and then this thing goes in there, but I got to take this screw out first so that I can seat it fully. That screw's already loose. There's a nut zert in the top of the plastic there. See that brass nut zert? So I'm going to hold this on the tip with my index finger. I'm going to just kind of rock this up and slide that in. I want to try to keep those wires from getting pinched. Okay, so that's all the more you got to do, just to slide it in there. So it looks like those tail feathers go down. I just dropped my screw, but it's right here. I can see it quite easy. Like that. Sorry, camera crew. You want to show them from over here where there's not like a wing in their way? Over here, over my left shoulder.
Handles in the way.
See this? Wow. Look at that. Look at Toyga. Okay, so now that's tight. This is assembled. I wish the beak was more deadly looking. That just looks like a kid's toy. But then the rest of it looks really nice. The zipper might dangle in kind of an awkward area. But I think that's pretty cool. I don't know if this thing's gonna fly inside. It probably will. Where of course we're gonna try it.
Well, yeah.
So I know that it turned on, but like, where is the battery at? The instructions are sort of vague on where the battery exactly is. What is all this extra screwdriver hardware for? We got all that hardware and I don't know what it's for.
It's like 2 whole extra sets.
Yeah. I think they're assuming you're gonna drop some. Oh, okay, so you unzip from the bottom of the Eagle, okay. How does this thing come out?
Move the click backward and open the lithium.
Oh, look, this goes like that. And then, like, how does that come out? So this is made of the same material of that package that it came in. Oh. There it is. There it is. There's your battery.
Oh.
So did you
it's
see?
like
So you pull back on this, and then there's enough room to it kind of gives you a bite, and then this lifts up and out. Then the battery is right here, which is going to be, boy, if you don't have nails, you're not going to be able to do this at all. Then it just, whoop, just falls right out. Okay, so there was a battery in there. Now there's 2 lights on here. I don't know what the red light means, and I don't know what the green light means. I would assume that one means charging and one means, I guess we're just going to stick it in and see what happens.
Okay.
Did it say somewhere on the instruction manual?
I don't think so. It might in the...
Careful you don't lose all the screws
Yep.
there. I'm scrolling through the manual as well.
I don't see anything in this.
Here's the charger. It says battery power indicator light and then charging indicator light. So the red light indicates charging. But that's a little bit strange because it said charging even when there wasn't a battery installed. Okay, so shift 1, shift 2. All right, so this is where you turn on and off the remote. We already figured that out. Pairing the Eagle with the remote control. Your Eagle should already be paired. Okay, so you don't have to do that unless you maybe break it or something like that. The signal light of the remote stops flashing in its voice broadcast. Oh my goodness, there's a voice. Okay. All right, this bird is complicated. Stick it all the way in until it clicks. Slide this to the rear of the aircraft / bird. And then slide that back and it drops in and locks. Then you can take the high quality, this is like a stretchy fabric. It's really nice actually. It's a really nice zipper. Gosh, like all the expensive things that they put on this, it's really cool. Okay, so you press that, there's a little light. That's an ESC starting, electronic speed control. It says,
Remote control connected successfully.
okay, all right. So now I need to figure out how to control the thing. So pairing is done. So now you have to, that's a trigger. Holy crap.
Aircraft landing.
What'd you say?
Aircraft landing.
Oh.
That is crazy. Oh my goodness.
I know. He's gonna freak.
Okay, so, yeah, I don't know how this is gonna work. Okay, I wanna see what happens with the buttons. Okay, I think our cats are gonna maybe think this is a little bit nutty. Okay, are you willing to try this inside camera crew?
I'm gonna stand like back here in safety.
It goes a little bit faster than I thought it would. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it didn't damage anything, I don't think. The 2 kittens are like very interested now. Oh boy. Okay, maybe this one isn't designed for your living room. The good news is, it's quite cool. It definitely goes fast. Should we throw caution to the wind and fly it in the wind?
Is it up? Is the tail upside down? Because I
don't
feel
know.
like it's instantly going like down as soon
Well,
as you throw it.
It's kind of hard to tell from the drawings.
I
Because
agree.
I think that this is the way it's supposed to be, but I could be mistaken. There's a lid, but the box doesn't have any print on it. I think we have it right.
Tail, body.
There's a drawing, it shows the tail like that. This is flipping up.
Okay, yeah.
So show the people at home. So this is gonna flip up.
Yeah.
All right, so let's try this
I think
again.
you're right then.
I'm pressing in on the stick, okay? And then there's a button that's like going in circles. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Please return aircraft low battery.
It's aircraft low battery,
Oh.
and then birds screaming. Okay, so, all right, we've learned. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pause and charge.
Please replace.
Please replace.
Oh, please replace. I can't.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, man.
This thing is kind of interesting. We gotta go out and try it in the outside environment, even though it's windy. It's very easy to get the battery out.
Yeah, which is nice.
Okay, so a couple things to consider. This thing is charging. I have to assume that that means it's charging because there's no click. It's just like drops down in there, and that's all the further it can go. Okay, so I know for sure that's all the way seated. So while that's going, I don't know if this is going to change colors. Maybe. Okay, so it's screaming at me again. I think that's just supposed to let you know that the controller is still on. I think we're going outside. Let's pause and we'll come right back.
Okay.
All right, YouTube, the time has finally come. I know you've all been waiting for the Hanvon GoGoBird Eagle. It just screamed at us. This is crazy. Okay, we're gonna try this. It's quite windy. Let's show them. Yeah, it's quite windy. I don't know. It might be a little bit too windy for this, but we're gonna try it anyway. We are in regular mode. Oh, that is so cool. So I don't know if it just decided it was like dead or what exactly, but we're gonna pause and find out. Okay, so the way you take this thing off is you press the joystick in. It's screaming at me again. Then it goes crazy and you just kind of throw it. And then you can kind of like, whoa, it knows how high it is. That's so cool. I'm turning. If you land on the power lines, Eagle, you're done for. Okay, so you kind of give us some suggestions. It's like flyby suggestion. I am like really amazed that it is still flying. Now when I'm just kind of like pulling the stick left and right. That is
windy.
crazy that it's still flying. Okay, well it evidently landed. It says aircraft landing, and then it goes into the grass and it's like flapping around. Let's go check it. The crazy thing is it hasn't killed itself yet. I didn't think it was gonna fly. It's so windy. I didn't think it was gonna make it. This thing is really robust. I'm surprised how robust. Okay, so it's a weird setup. I mean, I'm just not used to these controls, but there's a trigger, and I don't know what either of them do. But then there's like a fast flight and a slow flight. So we'll try. So you can use the stick to kind of control it. This is normal mode. It's screaming at me again. I don't know exactly what's happening, but there's evidently like an eagle attacking. So we're gonna go get it again and then come right back. The thing was screaming at me again. I don't know if that's like some tracking device. Okay, there's the bird. Everything is still in good shape. By the way, the nose is soft, so like if you run into your face, it won't be quite as devastating. Maybe not for the bird, but let's go back up into this clearing and see what happens. It's just very strange. I think when you hold down, it must land. So I'm gonna click. Ooh. Uh-oh.
Maybe is the battery low?
No, I don't think that's a battery low. That's a gear. Gear's spinning. So we're gonna take this inside. I think what's happened is on landing, the gears, see, this is free. So I think it popped free somehow. So inside here, you can look inside the chest. You see that? How there's that thingy hanging down? See how that's spinning in there? We're gonna go look at this inside. Come right back. All right, so you can take the head off by basically unvelcroing either side like this, and then the head comes right off, okay? So just so you know, like this isn't gonna hurt you if it hits you because it's just foam. Come here, camera crew. See, it's just foam. It's like a stuffed animal,
Yeah.
okay? Then even behind that's foam too. So I found a 2.5 millimeter drive, and this is what went wrong. I have a flashlight. I'm gonna try to give you guys a shot of this. I wanna leave that screw in there so I don't lose the screw itself. But if you look inside of there, there is a spot. You see where that hole is? That's what I gotta get this thing lined back up into, okay? That's what I'm gonna try to do. Because what happens is that's how the machine runs. And see, it's tight now. See how as I tighten, the wings are moving? Now watch this. Aircraft landing. Land already. Okay, once it reaches the altitude of landed, then it shuts off. The reason we had problems is because it sat on the ground and flopped, and the wings were not allowed to move, so it probably went like this, and it undid the screw. So if you don't already have a 2.5 millimeter hex drive, show them an extreme close up, you can use an Allen wrench to tighten that. All you have to do is line it up on that spinny piece in there, and then tighten the screw. And if you can't see where it is, you can move the wings to idle it, okay? And that'll move it to a different position. All right, so with that being understood, we're gonna try this again. It's actually, okay, so now that we've had a chance to play with it a little bit, if you look at the tail with me, camera crew, see, when I pull this way, it makes it yaw the aircraft. And there's the natural dihedral of the wings, and it just yaws the aircraft, or it yaws the aircraft. This lands it, okay? This makes it go up, right? So I don't know what the triggers do yet, but I wanna try. The wind is actually helping it to have really good lift. So I'm actually not opposed to flying this way. I'm very surprised it flies in this wind. I was disappointed to see that screw come loose, but to be perfectly honest, if we were in a flat level place, it'd be easier to do this, because what happens is there's a barometer in here and it can tell its altitude. And if you launch from here, that's 0, okay? This is -1 meter. This is +1 meter, okay? And so on and so forth. Well, when you press down on the stick or you click again, so take off, land. This plus below shuts it down, okay? Hold it down for a little bit, and then it just eventually shuts off. I think. Stop. Okay. So this starts it, this stops it. But it doesn't just stop, it slows down. Okay? So on the little bird, it produced its forward thrust by flapping the wings opposite one another and producing a pocket of air between these two films. And it would go forward. And as a result, the tail was used to yaw the aircraft just like this. And the dihedral, the upward angle of the wings, allows it to turn, okay, and go in circles. So this operates on the same principles. The difference is it's bigger, it's heavier, it's more powerful, and it's a little bit cooler looking. So I'm gonna try on slow mode this time. I think you can't see this outside, but you can see in here. Can you see the green light on both? So they match. So now I'm gonna switch to blue. See how it goes to blue on the bird.
Normal mode switched.
Okay, so normal mode versus fast mode. So we're gonna go back out into the abyss. Okay, so we're gonna try this again. We have the green light on and presumably the green light on. We can't see it now. And we're gonna try again. Going up, Going up again. Going in a circle or attempting to. That is really cool. Going up, go in a circle, turn, you turner. Okay, so it's landing. One thing I've noticed is that when you press and hold the stick, my tendency is as I attempt to make it turn and it's like, no, it's not really turning, it's not really turning, it's not really turning, I tend to push hard enough that it makes the switch that makes it go to in the landing sequence. So that's why you saw me trying to turn and I'm like, oh, power lines, maybe you should turn sharper, except it won't. Because there's only so much as you're moving forward, it lifts up those little pins on the back, and that's the way that it makes the turn. Well, if you turn broadside to the wind and you've got a pretty strong headwind, it's going to want to push you that way. Well, then I tried turning back into the wind and it just wasn't enough to do it, right? So it was wanting to keep going this way and then eventually got going this way and I was able to turn around like that. But then by then I had pressed hard enough that I pressed land. Then this thing keeps screaming at me, which is really obnoxious. Anyway, all right, we're going to go get it and we'll come right back. Okay, so we're back to get the bird going again. The GoGoBird Eagle, and we're just gonna feel. You can feel resistance. That means not broke free like it did before. I don't want to launch here because those trees, there's a ditch that's about 50 feet deep and it's not our ditch. So a couple things too, just as we are kind of learning to play with this thing, is that you just don't get enough control authority to make your decisions. Now I want to go to fast mode. Fast mode might help. That means that you're going to have a little bit more forward thrust, which might make these things more effective. But it's not like you have a full elevator or, you know, you're just basically creating drag. Okay, so you're never gonna have quite as much yaw authority as you might with a rudder. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Also keep in mind, this thing would not be very fun to get off of a roof. There goes screaming again at me. I'm not sure exactly what constitutes the scream, but I'm sure there's something to it. Also, there's triggers here, and I don't know what they do. Trigger 1, trigger 2. There are some modes, like go in circles. This is the mode button that goes between fast mode and normal mode, which I don't know if it's fast and slow, or if it's supposed to be like fast and then normal means something different. It's a little bit ambiguous. And then there's this like turn around button.
It's like return or something.
Return. So we're gonna see whatever that means. We're gonna go try starting from the same spot and try it again. Okay, so we're gonna try this again. We were just talking off camera about, you know, flying things where you feel like you're not in control is maybe not the funnest experience. So I think the way you could remedy that was not flying 30-mile-an-hour wind. Possibly. But we do it extreme on Brian Phillips RC.
I can't believe it flies at all.
I know, it is kind of incredible. See, I just want it to turn and like... And then does it really have to translate every time? Like, turn! No!
Maybe you can mute them.
It keeps landing at the least opportune times.
Yes.
I was about 30 seconds away from having that in a 100-foot tall tree. That would have been the end of the eagle. The real eagle hated it. So we'll be right back again. Okay, so just real quick, I don't want to say in closing like we're never gonna have another review of this. We're probably gonna slap this at the end of the video is my guess. There it is screaming at me again. You done? Okay, good. What I was gonna say is this GoGoBird Eagle, it's really cool. It's really well built. It's got a lot of design features that are in it. I don't know that it's the most controllable in the wind. So I think we've kind of found its limitations as it pertains to the wind. There's some strange features that I'm not crazy about, like the talking in metric and English. I'd like to be able to shut that off. Also, it's big, which is cool, and I like that a lot. Also, I like the fact that it's got a soft face on it so that like if you hit your kid with it, because you're not gonna be able to control it enough to avoid your kid, then it's not like you're gonna have to worry about hurting your kid. Also, I like that the batteries are easy to get in and out. It's not really hard to get in and out. It's a little bit weird that they're so like loosey-goose, but they work. This thing is well protected. It's well protected from itself. It's well protected from the environment. Okay. It's also stronger than I thought. So I'm actually quite happy with that. I'm not sure how I feel about the controls. I think when it's calm, we'll retest it and we'll see how I feel then. I feel like right now, when I take off in normal or slow mode or fast and normal mode, whatever way you want to look at it, the faster mode seems to do a little bit better. I also feel like the wind is a big culprit in that right now. I can't believe the thing flies at all in this wind, but it does really good. It's really pretty. It's really cool. I think it's just maybe not designed for being so windy. So we'll go ahead and revisit this. You may have already seen the video, but we'll leave this last part in the video so that you can make up your own mind if it's gonna fly in your environment. But if you haven't already, check the links in the description below. We'll have this in there so you can buy one for your very own self, kids, or worst enemy, depending on what you think. I think it's really cool. It's fun. It's definitely not an airplane. It's definitely not a bird. It's somewhere in between. I do think that the controls leave a little bit something to be desired. Ironically enough, the littler one is a little bit more fun to fly inside. This thing is more like a bull in a china shop. Is that, am I saying that right? Yeah, bull in a china shop. Yeah, this thing is, it flops around like a turkey inside, which is hilarious. But at the same time, I probably wouldn't recommend it if you have china, because it might find that china cabinet and continue, like watch this, take off, landing. So it takes a second for it to stop. And ironically enough, when you're sitting there holding it, it goes quick, but when it's on the ground, it's like, it's like 3 hours and then it stops.
Yeah.
So I don't know why that is. Also on the small one, you could, okay, so what happens? I'm pulling the triggers. I don't see a change in state. It's kind of hard to tell if it's doing something different, if it's going up, if it's going down. I also noticed that, like when you turn, like I really, really, really want it to turn. It's like, I think it just sort of gives up after a second. If the turn doesn't happen, I think it just gives up on itself. So the controls leave a little bit to be desired in the wind. Again, wind is compromising all the quality of the control. Also, there's a return to home, and then there's like a circle mode. It is a little bit calmer here. I'm just afraid of getting it stuck in a tree way up there.
Me too.
Because if it's stuck in that tree, it's staying in that tree forever. Like I said, until a real eagle takes it. But I really do. I think it's cool. It's definitely a neat thing. I have no idea if this is going to be... I have no idea if this is going to meet your fancy, but I can definitely tell you this. It's creative, it's fun, it's neat to see put all together like this, and it's definitely, this would be good for a layman, like a non-RC enthusiast, as well as an RC enthusiast. I think everybody's gonna get a kick out of it. So if you're looking for just an interesting gift idea, this would be pretty cool. So, or somebody that wants an eagle, and you're like, hey, listen, you can't have an eagle because it's an eagle. It'll like rip your arm off and eat it, you know, for a snack. So if you know somebody like that that really wants an eagle, just get them this. Any other thoughts, camera crew?
It's interesting. You're going to need space to fly if your kid takes it out in the front yard in your neighborhood. Take it to the park.
A big park with no trees.
Yes.
On a calm day.
Yes.
When it's sunny. Those things all need to be considered when buying the GoGoBird Eagle.
The kids are going to think it's cool, though.
The kids will think it's cool. If you have cats, they're going to love it.
Yes.
Our cats were like, we don't know what to do with that thing. You put that little GoGoBird out there and they're just chasing it and loving
Everywhere.
it.
Yeah.
So another thing to keep in mind, this thing is a lot bigger. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the price difference, because the pictures that they have online, you know, it looks about the same right here as the little one that's flying in your house. This is a lot bigger, a lot more cool in that sense. The cool factor is definitely there. This is definitely really strong too.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite surprised at how strong it is. So I'm very disappointed about the fact that I can't pull the trigger and have it stop flapping its wings, because that was cool. You could glide the other one. You could go up to altitude and then press the trigger, and then you could glide, which I really liked. You can't do that on this. So bummer on that side of things. All right, guys, hopefully you're seeing this at the end of the video, and we had an opportunity to get a good flight with dead calm in a really easy circumstance, and we'll show you how it works in good circumstances. If you want to buy one, check the link in the description below. There's also links to millions of other cool things too. If you want to help support us, that's a great way to start. Also, you can like the video, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and then of course make comments if you'd like. We try to respond to comments. It takes us a little bit longer as the channel's been growing, and thanks for 100,000. We just went over 100,000 a couple of days ago, so it's really cool. It's an honor. Thanks a lot for helping us do that. We'll keep bringing more and more RC action to yours truly. Stay tuned. All right, guys, we got the Hanvon GoGoBird Eagle, okay? This is about 4 times as big as the other little bird we did for Hanvon not too long ago. Got a different transmitter, lots of buttons, don't know what half of them do. Here we go. That is bizarre. I just commanded it to go up by pressing up on the stick. There we go, turning around. I gave it 2 clicks up. There's 1 click up. I'm gonna turn toward us. Oh, it's calling itself. Go up, go up. I don't know if you have to like move the stick forward to get it to go forward. Okay, so there's a circle pattern you can do. There's a bird up there screwing with it. Of course, the Hanvon Eagle loves power lines. It just ran into them. Every time that I get close to the power lines, okay, so evidently when you pull this trigger, it goes like, okay, so we'll see how that lived.
Are we walking to find it?
Are we paused?
No.
What? You get to walk through our grass?
Except I have to be able to look for snakes. So.
Snakes? Why, did you see a snake earlier?
No. Did you? And
Yeah.
you didn't tell me?
It's calling again.
Does it call when you get close to it? Oh, look, there it is.
Oh, hello. Hello, bird. Well, I guess we can find out if that destroyed itself.
It's kind of like a chicken.
Aircraft landing. You guys hear that? Okay, here we go. Come on, chicken. Get away from the power lines. I'm pressing up. I think that makes it go up.
Oh.
No, it's not. There it is. Okay, guys. I think there's some bugs that need to be worked out. I'm not exactly sure what buttons we're not supposed to press that we're pressing, but watch this. Oh, it called. It's the call of the wild. Go the other way, not toward the transformer, you dummy. Why do you hit the power lines every time? Okay, so out of the 2 flights we've had with this bird, it has hit the power lines twice. So luckily it didn't hit both of them at the same time, or it would have been like, all right, we're gonna go walk around and get it. Okay, we found the directionally challenged eagle. It's right here. Don't worry, the ditch is nice and mowed wonderfully right now. Okay, so what have we learned so far? If you do this, if you move the stick to the left, that goes up, which is supposed to help it turn. And then if you do that, it's supposed to help it turn this way. Problem is, it doesn't necessarily kind of do that much. So there's a fast and a slow. See how that light's blue?
Normal mode switched.
Normal mode switched.
Quick mode switched.
Quick mode, I was in quick mode. Then there's also like this button that says return to home. Why don't we just go like this? Let's just go. Take off, eagle, go to your motherland.
I have to go get it.
Aircraft ready to return.
Ready to return. Come home. Come home, Eagle. Come home, Eagle. Come home. Yes. You can do it, Eagle.
Aircraft landing.
Landing. Land. No, not there. Oh. We've defined a few problems here. But so far, it does look like a bird. So we're going to go get it out of those bushes there. So we got the bird back. It's run into a couple of power lines and 2 ditches so far. And it's cold a few times too. So what we've learned is that there's a moderate level of control over it. You can press a button where it claims to be coming home and then disappointingly flies into the ditch. But if there wasn't a ditch there, you might be able to do it without a ditch. So what we're gonna do is, there's much larger ditches here and here. So I think what we'll do is we'll launch it again in the middle of the road. We do all our filming in the middle of the road. Okay.
Why are you going towards like the tallest trees?
I'm trying to get it to turn. Keep going.
Oh no.
So I pulled the trigger and it stopped flapping. So I think this trigger must stop it from flapping. So I'm gonna go get it again. Seems to be a common theme here.
Okay.
Let's go for the power line again. Are you kidding me? Get off the power line, Eagle. Save yourself.
The cat is really concerned.
So,
Can you make it stop
no,
flapping?
that's the way it's supposed to work.
Oh.
It just called at me. Did you hear? Okay, let's walk on up there. Watch out for the mud.
Well,
Oh, there's the cat. He's gonna get it. Oh, there he goes. He's trying to get it. He gets scared every time he gets close. Okay, so if it keeps flopping over like that, you're supposed to...
Aircraft landing.
oh. now it's-
Aircraft
now it's
landing.
landing.
Yeah. So, yeah, in case you're wondering how it works, that's how it works. Now, how is it supposed to work? I think that's pretty close to the way it's supposed to work, minus the success. So, when you pull this trigger, I think it like dive bombs. I tried to dive bomb the camera crew that time. It didn't work.
Nice.
So, take off. Okay, so when you pull this trigger and you press that button, then it dive bombs. See, it stops immediately. So I'm gonna try to take off, and then the second button, the cat is making sure he's ready to eat that thing when it stops. It does actually do pretty good on the ground. Surprisingly, the ground handling is much better than expected. I don't really think it's supposed to ground handle. Okay, so when in the air, if you press this after you started flapping and then you
Wait,
click this.
Hold still. Okay, now show the buttons.
Okay,
So I can see.
so if you click this in like that, it starts the flapping. Then it stops. If you click this, then you do this and then that, it stops quick. Come on, buddy. Turn.
Just wait for it to get as far away as possible. before
That's
you
what I've been
dispatch.
doing. This is like, really, this is being marketed as an RC toy, but it's a surprise exercise tool. Okay, so after that workout, I want to be able to say how awesome this thing was. It is pretty good flying, and interestingly enough, quite resilient, unless you rip its head off. Ow! Yes.
But it's still not like damaged.
It's not broken at all. See, this has got Velcro attached on the backing of its eyes. So it's actually quite cool. I think that the kids will love it because they'll chase it around and endlessly lose energy. So this would be a great... There's a button that has like a speaker on it. I've pressed it repeatedly and nothing seems to happen. So I think what I want to do is I want to fly it up into the power lines again.
Okay.
Here we go. Go to the power lines. Go, bird. Go. Go, bird. Come on, you can do it. Don't land. Yes, I successfully did not land. So there is a way to engage and disengage the throttle. I haven't quite figured out the sequence of button presses. Don't call me, turn to the left. Turn left. Okay, when you press up, it seems to go up. When you press left, it should turn, and when you hold left, it goes. When you hold right, it goes. You can see it going left and right now, but see, it's stalled and it won't go. So I have to go this way, and then it's gonna go find the power lines again. So it's like, so then when you get it going in the right direction, sort of, then you could pull the trigger.
Aircraft landing. Fly out.
Oh!
Kind of a drop.
It's like I'm not gonna land. I think I've seen what I needed to see. So there you have it, guys. The GoGoBird Eagle. Nothing but the best on Brian Phillips RC. This thing is a ball of joy. And it is very interesting flying. It surprisingly works, and yet it sort of doesn't really let you control where it's going. There's this circle button here, and then there's a slow. Let's try slow mode first. Quick, take off. You can do it. I just want to turn a couple of different directions. There you go. There you go. Okay, turning to the right. Turn, keep turning to the right. Good job. The slow mode. Wow. There you go. A couple of up clicks. There you go. A couple of down clicks. I'll be back.
Okay. No, don't.
You can attack animals. So basically, this is the toy that keeps on taking a beating and yet continues to fly.
Very durable.
It's very durable. It's kind of weird because like you don't really have great control over what's happening to it and things like that. I would like it to have a return to home that actually works. It seems to hold the parameter. The parameter seems to hold altitude pretty good. But that's about it, guys. So if you want to get a lot of exercise, the GoGoBird is for you. Come back for more.